We're standing here at the caves of Gedi, and behind me is a waterfall coming out of the mountain. And we know that around 1000 BC, David came here to hide from Saul. David was anointed at about age 16, Brother Furso, and he was God's anointed, and yet Saul became enraged with jealousy after David killed Goliath, and David found his way to these caves to hide. On one occasion in the scriptures, Saul became so close to David in these caves, looking for David, that David cut a piece of his garment and could have taken his life. But he chose not to do that. He stayed here in the place of God's provision, the springs, the acacia trees. This was a place of security for him. And he chose not to harm Saul, who was so angry against him. And there's a lot of lessons at places like this. You just kind of try to picture David in the caves and the humility of David and the rage of Saul. But I suppose, Jerry, and this is Jerry Furso, our associate pastor at Lancaster Baptist and in charge of our outreach ministries. Every one of these places has had a lesson for us. And what are some things you think about here?
Of course, David was always one of my favorite characters of the Bible,
right.
And he was known as a man after God's own heart. And you just see his love for his leader, even though he didn't fully understand why Saul rejected him. David always endeavored to lift him up. And what a great reminder for us as staff members and church members to always lift up the man of God and to encourage him and to lift his arms up and always try to be a blessing to him.
Well, I want to thank you, Brother Furso, for living that out for how many years now? 31 years. Hope I haven't been as bad as Saul, but I'm sure thankful for faithful members. Many of our members here with us who've been here 2-3 decades at Lancaster Baptist. And David truly was a man after God's own heart, and the humility of David, even the tenderness as he later regretted that he cut the garment, is a lesson for all of us. And we live in a day when people have been hurt so often in ministry, and people blog and talk about it. And I understand that. We want to comfort people who've been in those situations, but we also want to have David's heart, to say we still need to be thankful for those who have led or who are leading. And Gedi is a place to ponder these truths. And now we're off to Jericho, and my wife's favorite Bible story. We're going to learn a little more about Zacchaeus up in that sycamore tree, and looking forward to it. Thanks for joining with us today.